Which psychological tricks should everyone know about? Get people to contribute to an idea and they will be more likely to accept it. Studies show that it doesn't take that much involvement in the creative process to get people to take possession of a proposed plan. Edit: these steps were created by Dr. John Cotto and typically refer to organizational change. However, change happens in daily life and isn't limited to business. Taking them slightly out of context but keeping the fundamental message allows for change management theory to work within most contexts. For more information on change management, click here. There are actual steps to change that have been proven to work. These are the 8 steps of managing change. 1. Create a sense of urgency. Make people aware of the need for change. 2. Establish teams. This allows for communication and cooperation. 3. Create a vision. Establish as clearly and concisely as possible what the change will be so that everyone can visualize it. 4. Communication. Talk about why this change is essential, bring in others and allow them to voice their concerns too. 5. Removal of any obstacles that can ultimately undermine the vision. 6. Generate short-term wins. This motivates people to perform and see that the change is actually working. 7. Don't get cocky, kid. Declaring that change is prematurely successful is the key to failure. Maintain short-term goals. Establish that any long-term win is going to take time. 8. Making them concrete. Change is successful when it becomes habit, when it is universally accepted by all involved and is continually supported. If someone is trying to make you decide in a hurry, they are probably giving you a bad deal. Walk away. Every single professional landlord ever for some reason is going on vacation the day after I meet them. Or the car salesman who is someone coming later today to look at the last one you're interested in. My favorite part is when someone else was actually interested in the car and they think I'm bullshitting. Then my later appointment would come in and actually buy that car. Then I get a call from the first person a week later asking if we're still solid on that price. Sometimes pretending that you are naive gets you more information. What do you mean by that? Pretending to not know something sometimes prompts people to tell you more than they meant to. For example, let's say you're a detective trying to get information from a taxi driver. You know that the last person he drove was person X, but you don't know where they were going. You might, therefore, say something like, "So, your last customer was person Y, going to Disneyland, right?" And, if you're lucky, the taxi driver will say, "What? No, it was person X, going to the Russian embassy," information which they may not have been planning on telling you. We're all just going to assume you gave more information because you knew Gearhead Cookie was pretending to be naive. If you want to avoid office politics, say good things about co-workers behind their backs. If you want to avoid drama in any situation, say kind things behind people's backs. Word gets around that you think highly of them and they start to think highly of you in turn. It's worked for me in school, works, and social situations. Even just something like "X is so nice" gets you far. It also makes your criticism carry significantly more weight. If I'm typically only speaking well to a person, they can't easily ignore when I bring them an issue. If I'm typically speaking well about a person, when I do have something bad to say, people will have a harder time coming to the conclusion that I'm just being a Karen and criticism won't be so easily disregarded. Pro tip: this doesn't work if I'm being blatantly flattering. I have to genuinely mean what I'm saying and pointing out valid positive behaviors and actions. Unethical pro tip: if you follow the above advice, you can say virtually anything you want and would be very much more believable than otherwise. Physical contact makes you more likely to say yes to a request. I'll make sure to hold my so's hand when proposing to them. If you don't know the answer your so will give when you propose, that's a surefire sign that you should not propose. No. It's a surefire way to know that you should propose in the busiest place imaginable. If you need to remember something, Think about it while doing something noticeably unusual. This will pair the memory with the something, so that when it is noticed later on it will trigger that particular memory. For example, I need to take out the garbage before going to bed. Put your pillow at the foot of your bed. This is a good one. Sometimes I'll do things like leave an object in a weird place. Then I see it and go, what the, oh? And then I go looking around, where did I leave my watch? And then you find it on your wrist. If someone annoying is at your office/desk at work and won't get the hint to leave you alone, print something and ask them to follow you while you grab it off the printer, then walk them back to their office/desk instead of going back to yours. They'll usually sit down without realizing what's going on, thinking that they chose to go back. I've tried this before. She stood at my desk, kept talking. Followed me to the printer, still talking. Followed me to her desk, sat down, still talking. I said a closing line, turned to walk back to my desk. She got up and followed me, kept talking.